Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Bregaton. Let's see what's behind this door.
What do we have here?
As a wise admiral once said, it's a trap.
I
Keep
better
your
myself
wits about
through
you.
my service.
A navigator flesh sample. We'll just put that in our pocket, where we keep all the other
crew
flesh samples.
Continues to mourn Lady Theodora. I fear it may affect the performance of their duties in service of the Lord Captain.
In his service will they find strength and fortitude. Only thus will they turn their hearts away from the frailties that lead to heresies.
So the his there is not referring to my Rogue Trader, it's referring to the Emperor of Mankind. Darn Jimmy Space, stealing the spotlight yet again. Noble Silk Gloves. The wearer gains a +5 bonus to Persuasion. I know the perfect candidate for those. A main character. And these would be better suited on Abelard. As the tank, he should be the first one to go down in combat, if all goes well. Unlike the Chaos Spawn fight. In tech use, we can give those to Argenta.
I always have a backup plan.
Okay, guess we'll go through this door and see if we can access the off switch for that trap.
Let us not dawdle.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder, as if a field of flowers was blossoming nearby. A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling. The Emperor favors me today.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
That's a very lengthy command dialogue. Did you hear the screams? Move. Sir, are you alright? We can't hear anything. Now I see. You're in league with them. Is this an insurrection? Yes, indeed. Death to the traitors. Sir, what are you doing? Get a hold of yourself, sir. I know. You're all traitors. Traitors, all of you. They told me. They whispered. Hey, who are you? I'm the guy that's gonna help you find your marbles. They're in the barrel of my gun. Data crypt H-41-OK. I suppose it is alright.
I always keep my options open.
Research notes of Navis Laboratorum Custodian Fortunata Orselio Part 13. It's quite the title. Keeper Theobald graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growths, so we could study the influence of the rebellious immaterium on the flesh of the Navis Nobilite. Just as we thought, navigators are positively resistant to the restless currents of the warp. The God Emperor truly does shield some people against corruption and misery. But let us get back to the study of mortal flesh. Another servant will be carried in shortly. I must ready the organ extraction equipment. Adamantine dust and black water. This was the worst idea that could have entered my mind. God Emperor be praised. I'm lucky to still have my head on my shoulders after this reckless experiment. Nevertheless, we did make an important discovery. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to a degree. Having said that, not even the macerator can handle its temper, so we should probably introduce a more complex compound into the formula. All of the data related to the experiment were recorded to data crypt K-04-OH. I will get back to them later, once I am done with the experiment H-41-OK. I guess I don't have to say the dashes. So we have this one. And we have KO. Have I mentioned that the chunk of meteorite found by the Keeper Phelix subjects is completely useless? Although, its shining granules could be used to make new paints for the child. Yes, I think I'm going to do exactly that. So this is useless. Well, we'll take that.
Duty prevails.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Never doubt me.
A bunch of cargo. More cargo. A long last and carapace chestplate. So carapace armor is usually reserved for high-ranking or important military figures. It's not very common. It boosts our dodge chance by 16% on average. And we'll take 5% more damage on average. But as a commissar, it wouldn't be unusual for me to have carapace armor on. And the long last, I'm not sure is fitting on any of these characters. And more cargo.
I always have a backup plan.
For some reason, the archenemy's twisted influence has found its way into the station. Yep, that's a wall turning into flesh. Uwe. Uwe has had his tongue cut off, just like the rest of the lesser servants of House Orselio. Really macabre practice.
Keep your wits about you.
Quick save, and awaken the Cogitator Spirit. The Cogitator's vid screen is covered in cracks and stained with dried blood. The buttons, switches, and levers were ripped out of the control panel with exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism that now sparks and hisses in agony, still refusing to perish. Awaken the Cogitator. You turn a few of the remaining dials and pull the activation lever. The cracked vid screen of the sacred engine flickers. The Cogitator's insides emit creaks and groans, and the lumens, or lights, oscillate at random. It takes a while, but eventually the machine spirits do grant you access to the Cogitator systems. Request data on the station's navigators. After a brief pause, the data appears on the vid screen. Bellic Orselio, location main hall, status alive. Theobald Orselio, location upper chambers, status alive. Acalamira Orselio, or Myra, location upper chambers, status deceased. Alexius Orselio, location lower levels, status deceased. Rasmus Estevan Orselio, location unknown, status deceased. The Child, location upper chambers. Biometric parameters, rapid heartbeat, elevated body temperature, stress level exceeds the permissible limit. Status unknown error. Attention. Calming procedures advised. Attention. Upper chambers inaccessible. Error. The control rod is not present. If the rod has been misplaced, immediately contact a station keeper or the Navis Laboratorum custodian. Examine the log. The archive data stored on the Cogitator's local data crypt is partially corrupted, but you still manage to access the residual logs for examination. View Vox Report 12AH890. The Vox recording hisses for some time before you hear a voice. This is Officer A-282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated on the lower levels. Chambers A to D are unpowered. The tech piece crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding, requesting back. The officer's speech is interrupted by shouting, and the recording abruptly ends. Officer H123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression of the living quarters. We've located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior station officers, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winterscale Scion for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply. It cannot be sure it was even sent in the first place. A rescue team is not coming. We are on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor. You hear me? Anyone. If you are in doubt, shoot to kill. The following Vox recordings are too badly distorted to make out even a single word. Examine the recent entries of the incident log. Report X880, originator classified. Date classified. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have their remains reprocessed. Since they were already killed, they probably weren't turned into servitors. Most likely they were turned into corpse starch, which was fed to the servants. A lot of planets, especially hive worlds in 40k, they recycle dead bodies to be eaten. They turn into corpse starch. Report X88. The report X886. Originator classified. Date classified. The negotiations with the Winterscales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's powers. Report X891. Originator classified. Date classified. Data expunged. Examine the station's docking log. The log is almost completely corrupted, but you managed to recover the latest entry. Identity confirmed. Regent Eritano Orselio. Date of visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Date of departure classified. I'm glad we found that. Examine the security and life support logs. The yellow lights above the control panel flicker to life, and a singular repeating message streams down the vid screen. Warning. Damage in technical compartments A12, B3, D8, and H24 detected. Warning. Living quarters L10, L16, L28 depressurized. Warning. Unable to access the station's docking system. Warning. Energy regulation system, unknown error. The station will transfer over to emergency power. Immediate evacuation of the facility is advised. Warning. View the encrypted data. Something buzzes buzzing, and the cogitator's metallic gut. Several red lumens light up above the vid screen. Required access level, security captain or above. Current access level, senior security officer. Break through the machine guardian's defenses. You easily bypass the restrictions imposed on the sacred machine. The cogitator's overloaded processes were, unhappily. Most of the encrypted data has been wiped. You find traces of the purge protocol. Recovery is impossible, but a list of the most recent commands, having been embedded in the machine spirit's consciousness, now flits across the screen in a single creeping line. Child delete picked flow disable access code annul station controls delete activate shuttle self-destruct purge command log. I guess I could have read that more slowly, just for the sake of deciphering it. Exploring the archives for a while longer yields a surviving excerpt from the guard captain's report, mentioning that the security system had recently been reconfigured without his knowledge. His comment reads, "Only the keepers of the station have access to the life support systems, but Keeper Theobald had not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that Felic is the bad guy?" Return to the list of the available commands. The vid screen blinks, and the mechanisms in the machine's core emit a quiet hum. Yeah, I had a suspicion that Felix was the bad guy. He does call the child... No, he called Cassia his mistress, who could be the child as well. It hasn't been confirmed yet. It's possible he has a weird obsession with her. Navigators aren't strangers to inbreeding, so... called Rycab Minoris for help. The system cannot carry out your command despite the eager compliance of the machine spirits. One thing is certain. The problem does not lie in the cogitator's mechanisms. Switch to the main chamber controls. The cogs within the sacred mechanism slowly start turning with heavy grinding and clacking. The tired machine spirits grant you access to the station control, or at least its parts that still obey the cogitator. Open all doors on the level. The cogitator's vid screen goes dark, as if the machine spirits had fled their mechanical casket. But your assumption is incorrect, as it fills with static just a few moments later. You can barely make out an inscription amidst the flow of rapidly changing symbols. Warning, data corrupted. Processing, 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 error. Alright, buckle up. 0100110100001000110111 001101011011 0000101111 00001 00000010000011011 011110111001100110011001100. Oh man. 111 0111010101 0010011000010 111010 01101010101110110 is required. Whew. That was rough. That's the content that keeps you guys coming back. Alright, I'm not going to read these, I'm just going to click on them. The cogitator takes a few moments to gather the data from the station's active systems. According to the report, this door has already been opened. Alright, option 2. Same description as option 1. Option 3. You push a few buttons on the control panel, but the system rebels and keeps resetting your commands. According to the data, the compartment you're trying to open is depressurized. Fair enough. Option 4. The cogitator takes a few moments to gather the data from the station's active systems and produces the following message. The protocol has been executed. The passage has been opened. Option 5. Same description as option 1 and 2. Option 6. Same description as option 4, I believe. And option 7 takes us back to the main menu. We've already read that. Main elevator controls. A few manipulations with the switches make you realize the elevator to the upper chambers is blocked. Activate the elevator. Processing query. Confirmed. Alright, step away from the cogitator. You thank the machine spirits and reset the operating protocol. Yeah, I don't think I'll read all the binary in the game. Worth a shot. Not going to waste any resources on that door because we don't need to
my options open.
Actually open it up. Oh wait, I missed this. Warp Seer's Goggles. Grants a bonus to lower warp based off your willpower. Give those to her, and then for Abelard... Let's do that. As the tank armor is a little bit more valuable than skill checks. Heresy has found its way into the walls of this esteemed house. It is a black day for the Navis Nobilite.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Biogel, viscous translucent substance. Black water, purified sample from Oceanic World OM-42-K-003. Unidentified acid, foul-smelling hissing liquid. A psi crystal. Flesh sample. Data crypt K040H. That was the other one mentioned in that.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
One journal entry, this one. The caustic stench of reagents sears your nostrils and broken glass crunches underfoot. Somebody want to destroy the laboratory, or find something. Someone disrupted this experiment in the most brutal fashion. It is impossible to determine what was inside.
Let us not dawdle.
They all just lost their minds. Please, don't kill me. Lady Cassius Medicae. Research notes of Navis Laboratorum, Custodian Fortunata, Ocelio, Part 12. More and more servants are being influenced by the Immaterium, and it has nothing to do with the child's more frequent tantrums. We've discovered that the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from the Winterscale Dynasty. I strongly recommend finally grinding the reagent to catalyze the reaction. Do not use acid under any circumstances. Trust me, you'll not like having to tend to the burns for the next dozen turns in a row. This calls for something more basic. Oh, and one more thing. The Tech Priest blessed the data crypt H410K with the calculated number of chrono turns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. The data crypt H40KO malfunctioned over the course of our research. I should remind the Technomats to deliver the sacred mechanism into Magus Dioctius's capable hands. Okay, so all these notes we've been finding have been clues for this. Adamantine. Laboratory Journal H-4045LS. Experimental section, the child's influence on the psycho-emotional state of various representatives of the Imperium. Access level Orcelio T Prime. Experiment H4545-1. Subgroup Lowborn Male. Test subjects exhibit signs of acute stress. The majority perished of blood loss within a day of being placed in the laboratory chamber due to the inability to halt the discharge of ocular secretions, tears, and the body's subsequent replacement of these secretions with the connective tissue of its internal environment. The individuals with the greatest resistance to the sacred child's resonance died several chronoturns later. Extensive wounds in the abdomen, presumably inflicted by a jagged piece of metal. Death was caused by strangulation with the subject's own intestines. The subject's final shouts exhibited concerns over abominable tentacles and void worms, hallucinations prescribed to their own internal organs. Experiment H4545-2. Subgroup Lowborn Female. The test subjects died within an hour of entering the laboratory, adjacent to the child's chambers. Most had their tongues bitten off or their jaws badly dislocated. Some test subjects lacked the physical strength to separate it from the rest of the skull. Cause of death: severe head injuries caused by impacting the walls or the floor. Experiment H4545-3. Subgroup. A paralyzed patient who lost the ability to speak due to the shock caused by a manufactorum accident. Male. The test subject noted a tingling sensation in the deteriorated tissue. During Regent Aranto Orselio's visit to the child, the test subject smiled and started humming, most likely trying to carry some plebeian tune, and then attempted to address the servant who brought him food. A lengthy conversation was prohibitive due to the servant's lack of a tongue. Experiment H4545-4. Subgroup. A defective offspring of Lord P. Orselio, pronounced unfit for studying the high art of navigation, owing to the mutation of tissues required for installation of the obligatory augmentations that merge one's consciousness with the vessel. Additionally, they display an overall feebleness of mind. Female. The test subjects mirrored the child's actions for 3 days. On the 4th day, the child became upset after hearing the news about the untimely demise of Amos Cantarelli, an officer of her personal guard. As a result, one of the test subjects peeled away several layers of tissue from her face and died from the resulting massive heart attack. The last surviving test subject was executed for attempting to contact the child. I wonder what class psyker the child's going to be. Remake the control rod. Alright, so we got the control rod. An elevator control rod made with the help of Navigator Technologies. So this part wasn't for the control rod. Okay, let's look at the notes real quick and figure out this puzzle. Alright, so the mutated flesh goes with the psi crystal, but not the acid, something more basic. I mean, water is fairly basic, but the description is not. Not sure if we're supposed to use biogel there or the black water. Then we use OK. Alright, let's give that a shot, I guess. Nope, not that one. Mutated. There we go. And the one that ends in OK. I'm guessing the Biojo.
What a peculiar thing.
Did I pick it up? Oh, there it is. Alright, so able to check our notes, make sure we didn't mess it up. Alright, so the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from the Winterscale Dynasty. Got that? Do not use acid. Use something more basic. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the water or the biogel. The biogel seems more basic, just across the board, because I'm sure the purification process for this water is also more complicated, and based off the description. And then OK, which is definitely the one we put in. Alright, see what happens.
This is intriguing.
Oh, and we leveled up. Fantastic. Adaptive Antidote grants immunity to toxic damage and inflicts a -10 penalty to toughness until the end of combat. We still have more reagents. Let's look at this. So we have the Navigator flesh sample mentioned here. Oh, we have mortal flesh as well. So it does say... Alright, so if we use adamantine dust and acid, I think that's what that's hinting at. And normal flesh. So adamantine, acid... and OH. So we have to crush up the adamantine, I think. It did say adamantine dust. So we want the mortal flesh. I think it was OH, I already forgot. Yeah, we're recorded to OH. And acid. And adamantine dust.
What do we have here?
Elixir of Warp Neutrality. Grants immunity to warp damage and inflicts a -10 penalty to Fellowship, but the user can't deal warp damage until the end of combat. Okay, be good for a tank. Alright, then we only have the one set of ingredients left, so we'll just throw those in and see what happens. Supposedly the meteorite is only good for paint, but we'll see. Maybe we're better scientists than the scientists that were in this laboratory. Did I not grab it? Whoops. Alright. Well, let's level up real quick. Alright, level 6 officer. We get a talent. So, I was going to grab... Yeah, no respite. Whenever the officer's ability grants action points to an ally, that ally also gains +1 to all characteristics for every action point gained until the end of combat. Fantastic buff. And we can boost a characteristic. I'm going to go with Fellowship again. Abelard. It's an ability. So he has Endure, a sworn enemy. The warrior marks a target, gaining a bonus to a percentage to armor, and bonus damage on melee attacks against that target. Sorry, my cat knocked a pen off the desk. If the target attacks the warrior during this round, the warrior gains 1 AP once per round. Reckless Strike. The warrior's next melee attack gains percentage armor penetration and bonus damage and ignores percent of the target's parry. Every enemy who survives an attack enhanced by this ability will attack the warrior in return, including creatures with ranged weapons. Forceful Strike. The warrior gathers all their strength for a crushing strike. The next melee attack pushes the enemy away. The distance of that push is equal to however many cells. Taunting Scream. The warrior screams at their enemies to draw their attention and becomes a priority target of any enemy who fails a willpower resistance test. I'll probably grab that. And Breakthrough. The warrior gains a slash ability with however many charges for this round. Slash cannot be used in the same round as charge. And slash, the warrior dashes through an enemy to the cell on the enemy's opposite side and makes a melee attack with a minus 50% reduced damage. That can be applied only once for one target per round, does not provoke an attack of opportunity. I'm going to go with the taunt. Though sworn enemy would also be good, I think it would pair better with a taunt. And here, probably Corrals. It's currently his highest skill. And scales with toughness, which is his highest characteristic. Though having someone for athletics checks would also be a good idea. Alright, and Adira. Choose a talent. I think Tide of Excellence is fine. Whenever the operative triggers an exploit on an enemy, the operative gains +1 damage and +2% armor penetration until the end of combat. And it stacks. There were a couple other ones I was interested in getting, but I think that one's fine. And here, let's go with... It recommends perception over willpower. I find it interesting since her willpower is higher. Sure. And Argenta. I'm going to keep pumping up her ballistic skill. Alright, she also gets an ability. So dash. The soldier immediately dashes in the selected direction, spending all their movement points. Does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Allows the soldier to dash through allies and enemies, but not through obstacles. Can only be used once per round. That might be worth it with the Flamer. Controlled shot. The soldier gives a sign that they are about to open fire. The soldier and their allies will automatically dodge the soldier's next attack. Could also be very useful with the Flamer. Entrench. The soldier immediately spends all their AP and MP and gains a 30% bonus to cover efficiency. The next time the soldier uses run and gun, they gain back all spent AP and MP plus 1 additional AP. It also resets the cooldown of all other soldiers' abilities except for run and gun. Concentrated fire. The next ranged area attack made by the soldier deals a bonus % damage and has additional % dodge reduction. Could also be good with the Flamer, because Flamer only has ranged area attacks. Rapid fire. The soldier's next burst attack will have its rate of fire doubled, but deal 25% less damage. All the shots will follow random trajectories, only works with weapons capable of burst fire. I'm going to go with dash. That'll make positioning with the Flamer a little easier. Alright.
I always have a backup plan.
I do believe we're ready to go back to the elevator. I don't think we missed anything.
Keep your wits about you.
Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we'll check in with Felic Orselio again, and then head up the elevator. But for now, thanks for watching, and to see you guys in the next one.